Hey guys, welcome back to yet another video. Today we're going to be doing something pretty cool, I reckon, and something that I hate about the car is the whole chrome front end. Eventually the lights will end up getting done as well, but today we're going to be doing the chrome on the front bumper. So those little strips around there and maybe the badge. I want to do the badge a different color eventually, but I might just do it black for now. So our first step is to start by taking it all off. Now this is all the stuff we're going to be using today, so I've got a bunch of different paints and things like that. We've got our bits to take it off with, so it's a 10mm socket and a T20 torque bit to get that whole front bumper off the car. We're going to take the whole front bumper off because I think it's a bit difficult just to take the grille and everything out of the bumper as it is now. So we'll rip the whole thing off and take the chrome and stuff off it, and then we'll paint it separately. What we've got to be using is we're going to start by cleaning it up and giving it a bit of a sand. So I've got a 400 grit waterproof, so wet and dry sandpaper here, but I've also got a 180. I'll start with that. And then might smoothen up a bit with the 400. Got a tack cloth just to get any stuff off. We're also going to clean it with some wax and grease. And then what I'm going to be doing it in is satin black paint. I think satin black will look pretty cool on it, so we're going to do that. And then we've also got a clear coat to go over the top of it just to protect it a bit. Now, with the chrome part, I was told by my uncle, who is a spray painter, that I should scratch it back, and because it still has that little bit of metal in it that actually gives it that chrome finish that's polished, I should use an etch primer rather than just using like plastic primer, which is what I was going to use. So I will sand it back, make it all rough, and then we'll put an etch primer on it before we put down our paint. I might end up doing all this black plastic in here and make that all the same color and all new and everything, but that's not chrome at all, so that's just plastic. So my assumption is I'll use the plastic primer on that to get that to stick well with the paint. So our first step is to get that bumper off. It shouldn't take too long. I'm starting this at about 12 o'clock, so it's been raining a bit today. The sun's starting to come out now, so hopefully we'll have enough heat to get that paint to really bake on there. Otherwise I might whip out the heat gun. So we'll make sure it's done by this afternoon. Well, it's not the easiest bumper to get off, but that wasn't too bad. There's a few torque bits along the top. There's two on either side in the wheel arches, which if you have decent sized wheels like I do, it was a bit hard to get the bottom ones, but I got them out in the end. And then there was two 10mm bits on top, and I think 3 10mm underneath the bottom, which you can kind of see there. And then you basically got like a ton of clips just on the corner here, which was a bit of a struggle, but I did get it. I had to sort of angle it a bit with the little pry tool, but we got it in the end. And I think there's some tabs here on the headlight which also hold it. Let's get these chrome bits off of here, and then we'll get into it. But while we're here, I wanted to have a look behind the bumper anyway, because I'm starting to think I sort of want to get a bull bar. So if any of you guys have any opinions on bull bars that look good in the Colorado, I want to be able to run sidebars and sliders, but I can custom make them if the bull bar doesn't have a triple hoop or anything. I want it to be stealthy and to have a good like approach angle, so I don't want anything that sticks out heaps far. I contemplated on making my own, which could still be on the table, but I don't know, that's a lot of work. I might just get a cheap one and modify it to how I like it, but I don't know. If you guys know any good bars that look pretty sick on them, let me know. Hit me a DM on Instagram or something, and I'll check them out. Okay, so I have no idea how to do this, but I just had a quick look at it, and it looks like there's just like a million bloody tabs along the whole way. So my idea is, I guess you just sort of pop them out and the whole shroud and bit should come out. I don't know if the plastic is attached to that or if it's a separate piece, so we'll find out once I pull it off. But basically I'm just going to put the camera down and have a go at pulling all these tabs and see if I get it out without breaking any of it. And then I think that's for the badge, so we'll do that as well. Okay, so this is so difficult to get off, but we ended up finally getting off this black section because that actually sits over the top of it. That's what pulled off the easiest, I guess. But how I had to do it is, you can see all these little plastic things. Basically I cut up little bits of plastic, put them in between the tab and the hole on the black bit there, so that when I pulled, I didn't have to go around and unclick every single one. I could just pull it up and it would sort of flick itself off. So I recommend trying that out if you're going to be doing this, because that was probably the hardest thing I've ever done. And I don't know, I've probably been doing this for like an hour or 40 minutes or something just to get that off. So now we're going to get these chrome bits off, which looks like it's just a couple little clips down along it, but they do look quite difficult to get off. So I'm going to play with them and hopefully it doesn't take too long to get off. Alright guys, so now that we've got the bumper, all the grill and everything is completely off the bumper, I've just given a quick wipe down because it was a bit dirty before I start sanding it up. So we have the grill part and then we have those chrome sections. Now the way I actually got these off, these come off the front bumper pretty easily. So it's just, they're only held in by like these tiny little tabs that don't seem to break when you pull them out straight, so that's good. The badge was very, very difficult to get off. That has a few tabs on the back, as you can see, and they're quite large. The hole that they were going through was very, very difficult to get it out of. So I'm not going to paint this until I have my final color, because I don't want to have to take this thing back off again. So we're going to be starting with, this is 180 grit. So we'll start with the chrome with 180. We'll see how it goes, and then if I think it's too harsh, and I'll drop down to the 400. Otherwise, I will finish with this and then do it again with the 400 just to make it really smooth. Alright, now I've gone over the whole thing so you can kind of see it's a bit more dull. You can see a bit of a shine on the top there, but it is quite dull. We're just going to go over it with some wax and grease remover to clean it up, and then we'll follow it with a edge primer. So this is the stuff I'm going to be using. It's a Septone Super Etch Primer. Down there it says Acid Etch Primer. So that's what my uncle was telling me I should look for. So this is what I've got. Basically, on the directions, all it says is to apply one. Alright guys, so I've currently gone through and I've now etch primed both the chrome parts of the bumper. The first one is almost already dry. It's got about 10 minutes, 20 minutes left. And the other one I just done, so I'm just going to leave them for an hour from now, so that's definitely dry, and I've done a little bit of touch up on the first one, so that'll be dry as well. I'm kind of running out of daylight, so I think I might be painting them black tomorrow. As long as I get this primer on, I'll be happy. Alright, so I've just sanded up both the grill sections of this front black bit, I don't know what you'd call it. Just sanded all them up. I ended up doing it with the 400 as well, because the plastic is so, I guess, soft, and the 180 grit was seeming to sort of scratch it up a bit too coarse. So I hit it with the 400 just to smoothen things out a little bit, and I think it come up a lot better. I've also hit it with wax and grease remover, and it's currently just sitting in the sun. I just put it down, so it's just giving it a couple of minutes just to dry the wax and grease remover out. And then we're going to be hitting it with this one here. So this is again another Septone. It's a plastic adhesive primer. So basically it's just going to promote the adhesion to the plastic. I think it said, oh, I need to do 2 light coats, so 5 to 10 minutes in between, and then it needs 15 to 20 minutes to dry completely before putting paint on it. So I feel like again the paint might be tomorrow, the same as them, because the sun's dropped a lot more now. No daylight savings really sucks.
Day 2.
Good morning everyone, it's now day 2 of painting the grill and everything. So last night it just got a bit dark and a bit cold, so we weren't able to actually put our paint onto it, but they're all primed up and ready to go. Now I got up this morning a bit early so that I could come out and get a good start on it and have it done by today. Now it's about 9 o'clock now and the sun still isn't properly up. You can see it's starting to get a bit light over there, but it was really sunny out in the paddock, and here's not so much. So I'm going to wait a bit more so that it gets really sunny and really heats up all the plastic and the paint can dry fast. But I've pretty much just been cleaning the front of the car and stuff. And if you follow my Instagram, you would have just seen me how much mud was coming out of all my intercooler and radiator and all that sort of thing. So I've got to wait maybe another hour, I would say, before this sun actually clears these trees. So I guess I'll see you in about an hour. Something I actually wanted to show you guys too is on the back of the canopy I stuck one of my custom production stickers, and it looked good for about a week or so, and now you can sort of see it's starting to come off. So I don't know if it's from the Raptor or if it's from the checker plate, maybe a bit of both, but I did have to heat it and sort of morph it in around the checker plate. So I'm gonna have to rip that off soon, and I'll just know for future I can't stick any stickers on the back of the canopy, which is okay. I don't really mind. I just put it up there just to see if it would stick, and I had a bunch of spares laying around. And up here I've also got a new windshield banner. You can't really see it, but it says Kustom 4x4. So there's another one just here. That's our sort of our group's little name now. So we used to be Coastal 4x4. My mate actually started that. But we sort of want to start getting into more videos with the channel, and we want to go away and make more vlog things while we're out full driving and stuff like that. So we tried to tie in the name a bit with the channel name. So I think Kustom 4x4 sounds pretty sick. Now he's still going to be sort of in charge of the whole Instagram account and our clothes and things like that. I'm just going to be focusing on the videos and stuff. So if you want to go ahead and follow Kustom 4x4 on Instagram, I'll link it just here or something, and check us out, and you'll be able to see our trips a lot earlier than we actually get around to posting it, because I feel like it'll take a very long time to edit a full driving trip, whereas he'll have the photos up in like the next day after the trip. Anyway, I thought I'd just let you guys know that, and if you wanted to follow the Instagram account, that would be sick, and you'd be able to keep up with what we do. But for now, let's just wait till the sun picks up a bit. I want to get some heat on that plastic before I start painting. And we've got our satin black paint ready to go, our clear coat, which will be done after, and this is something I'm going to test out. I just bought it. It's a tack cloth. Pretty much, if you're familiar with painting, when you always go to lay down your paint, you never be able to clean it that well, and there's always like fine bits of, you know, whatever material, like cotton or little bits of fluff balls pretty much on it. Now that tack cloth is meant to lift all that stuff off, so fingers crossed it works, because it cost me like $5 for this tiny little piece of crap. But we'll see how we go. Alright, so I've just moved the setup from just here to back over here because it's in the sun completely. I've laid it out, and I've used that tack cloth thing to wipe it over and get any little bits off it, which the name really is tack cloth because it's like a tacky cloth. It's all sticky and stuff like that. I didn't really expect that. I've shaken the paint up now, and it says that you should leave it 1 hour between coats. So I want to try and do light coats so I don't get any runs, because I want it to look good. We'll do a couple of coats, maybe 2 or 3 coats I would say. Hopefully I can get away with 2 so it's quicker, and then I can get the clear coat on, but we'll see how it goes. I don't want to stuff it up, and I'd rather wait so that it looks perfect. Okay, so the 1 hour timer is now up. We have completely dried 1 coat. It's looking pretty good actually, so I'm sort of running out of paint. I think that might cover it once I do the second coat. So I've only got a little bit left, but it seems to have covered pretty well. And I just put dirt fingerprints on it. I'll clean that up in a sec. Seems to be a spider has decided he wanted to make a web on it. But yeah, I think it looks pretty sick. So I'm going to give it a second coat now, and then we'll have to wait an hour again, and then we can put a clear coat on it. So let's whack this second coat on, see how it dries and everything after I clean my fingerprints off, and then it's up for clear time. Alright, so the second coat has now dried for an hour. We are ready to put the clear coat on now. So pretty much I've gone around between each coat and used that tack cloth just to get any stuff off it, and to be honest, it actually works pretty well. So if you guys are ever doing painting, grab yourself a tack cloth. They're pretty good. We're done with the painting. It turned out pretty well. I like how it looks, so that's the main thing, and then this will just set it off and make it a bit more protective. So the paint I used was an Australian export, it's called. I don't think it's a very good paint, but it was cheap, and because I'm putting the clear coat over it, my sort of ideas is that will protect it from like stone chits and UV and all that sort of thing. So we're going to start by putting this over it. Now the instructions for this is actually kind of vague. and pretty much all it says is just let it be touch dry or whatever between coats. So I'm gonna do it and then leave it for maybe 15-20 minutes or something and then check it, just because I want to make sure it really bites onto it and I don't want this thing coming off. So we're gonna go around and do this. Never done the clear coat before, but I assume it's just like normal paint, you just spray the same, and we'll see how it turns out. Alright, so everything has been done. I ended up doing about 3 coats of the clear on top. So it's kind of taken it from being a satin to more of a gloss. So you can kind of tell that's a bit shinier than what a satin would be, but I suppose it might dull over time and stuff, which I don't really mind. A gloss is a cool color too, so I'm happy either way, but that looks pretty sick. Now the sun is starting to go down and it's just about to drop past those houses, so I need to hurry up, get this on the bumper and get it on the car before it's dark. Basically, we're just gonna do exactly what we've done to take it off, in reverse, to put it all back on and put it all back on the car. So this will be a lot quicker to do because it just all clicks in rather than having to try and get it off. So let's get into this before this sun goes down. Okay, so as you can probably tell, it's almost dark, so I'll show you a better view of it maybe tomorrow or something like that when I get some better daylight. But I've got it all back on now. As I said, I'm not putting the Holden badge back on because I don't want to take it off again because it's such a pain in the ass. But pretty much Dad ended up coming down and giving me a hand to fix that grill up. Basically, I just got a hammer and needed that just to get a bit of force to tap the lugs in so that it would click. To actually get the grill and everything back on. I would suggest using a rubber mallet rather than just a normal hammer like I used, but if you're careful, it still works fine. We got the bumper back on now. Little handy hint for doing these is do one side first, and if you have 2 people, that's great. But basically, we pulled the bumper around a bit, clicked one side of it in, and then stretched the other side around and got it in. So that was a bit easier than trying to do both at the same time because we were sort of struggling a bit. But we got that all on now. I think it turned out pretty good. That looks pretty sick, I reckon. It looks a little bit, like as you can see on there, you got the shine. It looks a bit glossy. I think that might just be the clear coat, but it could dull over time, and it could just be the lighting that's sort of giving the illusion that it's just glossy. So I'll try and get some footage of it maybe tomorrow or something when I have some better daylight and I can show you guys up close like how it really looks. But this is pretty much it. I think it looks pretty sick. It's going to go great when I black out the headlights and things and do the bull bar and all sorts of things like that. It would look mad. Maybe cost me under 50 bucks in total for paints, sandpaper, the little cloth thing and wax and grease remover, basically to do the whole setup. So I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. Something I need to do next is, because that's all chrome in there, I want to get some, I think they're LTZ headlights, so they have the projectors and everything. I want to get some projector headlights for these and do my own custom like angel eye setup or something. So that'll be down the track once I find some that are cheap enough. Or if any of you guys know of anyone trying to get rid of some or want to swap or whatever, let me know, DM me on Instagram and I'll be happy to pick them up. Anyway guys, I'll catch you when it's daylight and try and get a bit more footage of it and give you a good look at how it actually looks, well, in the daylight really. So I'll see you then.
Tomorrow for sure.
Good morning guys. I'm up a bit earlier before I go to work today. I wanted to try and show you guys the grill before it's dark again. Really, every single day has been dark when I finish, so I thought this is a good opportunity, a late start, so I might give you guys a look at it now. So this is how the grill turned out. It looks a bit less shiny in person, and I assume that the clear coat's dried a bit more and it's gone a bit more like a satin colour, but it still does have that shine, as you can see with the light reflection. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I think it looks mad on the car. It's gonna be awesome once I put that badge and everything back on with the bronze color that I want. Something I noticed the other day actually is when it's humid, you can sort of see like those dots there. I don't know what they are. They're sort of under the paint, but I noticed the other day when it's a bit colder and a bit humid, this whole bottom section on both of them was sort of lumpy, and it felt like there was not sand under there, but like little air bubbles. Now it's done that the past couple of days, and when I would come back to my car from work, and it's been sitting in the sun all day, they'd be back to smooth again. So I'm not sure if maybe it's like some moisture underneath the clear coat, and it keeps bubbling up when it's cold weather and overnight and stuff, and then the heat must make the water like evaporate or something. But it's not doing it. It's not doing it at the moment, of course. That's the one time I wanted to show you guys what was happening, but that's okay. I'm pretty happy with it not doing it. The only downside to what happened is when I was putting it all back together, the clips didn't 100% line up when I was trying to like compress it with my hands, and I may have scratched the paint a little bit just here and a little bit there, and you can see a little bit there, which is sort of on that little grill part there as well. That's not a big deal really. I don't like it. It was very annoying that night when I noticed it, but I think I can just give it a little sand back and just hit it with some paint and some clear coat again, and it should come back good again. But yeah, other than that, I had no other real issues at all. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a quick little easy DIY that you can do yourself in your backyard, so why not give it a crack? I think it turned out pretty well. I hope you enjoyed this video guys. Leave a like if you liked the video, leave a comment if you got any questions, or you can help me out with the bull bar situation. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in my next video. Have a good one.